Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Today, we're going to talk about Money Kicks. He's confirming that he's actually going to go head-to-head with Floyd Money Mayweather. Still not official confirmation, but he's saying it's happening.
With Floyd Mayweather, that's huge. And we'll also be talking about UAE companies can be fined up to 50,000 dirhams for not paying employee salaries on time.
We have more crafty email scammer stories. We're going to take you through them.
And the Al Maktoum tollgate will be free on this day. I could have told you which day, but I want you guys to keep watching.
We're clickbaiting in the show. Fabulous.
But Casey, speaking of tollgates and driving, you had your parking test yesterday. How did that go?
Have you done a parking test in this country?
I did. I passed first go. Sounds like you failed.
Not only did I fail, I monumentally failed.
Oh my God!
I really did. Yeah.
What happened?
So there are 5, and this is like before you get to the RTA, you have to do your Galadari one. That's the school I'm doing it with, and you're meant to just park in the space. And it's so funny because you're watching the other cars do it before you go out. I had like a 30-minute wait, and I see them like clipping the edge, and I'm like, guys, fail there. So first one, nailed it. Second one, clipped the edge, and I was kind of like, I was in good spirits, and I was thinking, maybe I can talk my way out of this one. So I was like, it's okay, I'll show you how good I am on the next one. And we get to the third one, it's parallel parking, and there are 2 slots to choose from.
You hit the car?
I didn't hit the car, but I drove to a certain space. Perfect parallel parking, by the way, into just like this random open area between the 2 places. It wasn't actually a parking slot that I was meant to park in. There was like a parking slot here, a parking slot here, and I parked like in this massive space bang in the middle. So like if you look at all these cars parking perfectly, and then there's me like, and he just kind of looks at me and he was like, parking space here, parking space here.
Well, there was no one in the car beside you?
There is in this Galadari one, so I drove out. The other 2 are fine, so I failed 2, passed 3, so I have to redo 2 before they even let me unleashed at the RTA, unfortunately.
Casey!
Simran!
You could have done it!
I felt like I was going to do it. I was in that mood.
But it was a perfect parallel parking, right?
Well, I thought so,
just
but the space was quite large. So I was like, I don't even see the lines. It's because they weren't there.
But parallel parking is the worst parking of all types, of all forms of parking.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now with cars having a reverse cam, it just makes life so much easier.
They don't in your test, I'll tell you that.
Of course you should learn it without all the technology. So then when you get the technology, it's just like, a further assistant. Yeah.
If anyone has tips, I need to pass parallel and I need to pass garage parking. It turns out talking your way out of these does not work because they're very, very strict. I'm waiting to book my new one, but yeah, I'll need all the help and all the prayers and all the finger crossing that I can get.
Maybe you should have done the river dance for them. They would have been like, take it, pass it.
I would have done anything. I would have just no, it was not to be, but I've heard that they're quite tricky to pass. So I have to go back and redo 2. And I'll let you know how I get on in those
Here's
ones.
hoping you pass all of them first go here onwards.
Thank you.
But we'll move on to our first story, which is UAE companies can be fined up to 50,000 dirhams for not paying employee salaries on time. So listen up, workers. Now, please do share this with your employer if you haven't been paid your full salary on time. So the Ministry of Human Resources and Amortization, MOHRE, is warning all private sector establishments to ensure employee salaries are being paid in full and on time to avoid hefty fines of up to 50,000 dirhams. Now, penalties for not paying employee their full wage on time include entry of incorrect data in the Wages Protection System, WPS, for the purposes of invasion and circumvention will result in a 5,000 dirham fine for each worker and 50,000 in cases of multiple workers, and failure to pay on the date that's mentioned in the contract will result in a 1,000 dirham fine per employee, and forcing employees to sign a fake pay slip to show that they've received their salaries will result in a 5,000 dirham fine per employee?
So basically, the employer is considered late in paying if the salary is not paid to the employee within 10 days from the due date. The employer is considered as refusing to pay if the wage is not paid to the employee within 1 month of the due date.
So, I mean, these rules, regulations are obviously there in place because people have been, I mean, I'm sure companies and organizations have been found flouting this, not just flouting, like, like violating these regulations and violating just the contract that they've signed with their employee.
It's such a shame because I'm sure a lot of people have been affected by this. I know someone in one organization, they get paid 20 days late. And when you are a solo single person with no family to provide for, we probably don't, you're like, okay, 20 days, maybe I'm going to miss my bills. But when you have a family that you need to pay for, that like it becomes very, very serious. But at the same time, I think it's such a shame because there are smaller companies who may struggle and it may take like 2 or 3 days to get the bills over the line. It may take a few days to get the funds. So it's a shame that it had to come to this, but I think in overall, the bigger picture is that you do a service, you should expect to be paid on time. But I would hate to see kind of smaller companies have to, if there was ever, a case that they missed it by a couple of days, you'd hate to see them have to pay for these fines because they're quite big
there's
fines.
like a whole, like even if you want to place a complaint on the employer, there's a whole process to it for which you can call 800-60, which is the MOHRE helpline, and they will run you through the process of how to complain against your employer. But we put up this post on Instagram yesterday, which we'll be talking about tomorrow, and just a bunch of you came out with your stories of how you aren't paid on time or how you haven't received any pay whatsoever. So it's a very common issue here in, I think all over the world, like there are employers that violate these regulations, but it's still so heartbreaking. Like I have friends who work for this one company and they haven't been paid in over 4 months. And it's they blame it on COVID, but it's just ridiculous, to have your employees go through
this
that.
point, blaming it on COVID?
Yeah, honestly, it's really sad.
That's the thing, and unfortunately, if that's the case in a number of places, authorities need to stamp down. They need to clamp down. So I guess this is the regulation that's being brought in. So if you're an employer, take note of all of the stats that Simran just went through because quite the update. Let's jump into our next story. We're talking about money kicks. Floyd Money Mayweather, is the fight happening? This could be the biggest kind of social media star versus boxer fight in the world that the world has ever seen. And he actually confirmed it in a call to DJ Khaled. So not only that, in a report by Michael Benson, who is a TalkSport.com boxing editor, Money Kicks has said that for him to fight with Floyd Mayweather, that the talks are actually in the last stage. So we have a number of reports saying it. And also, of course, Lovin Dubai was at the Burj Al Arab helipad with Floyd Mayweather, who announced that a helipad fight was going to happen on February 20th. And Rich was down there, he asked the question, and Mayweather himself teased the fact that it could be money kicks. He said the bout will be 8 rounds, he added, and actually what Money Kicks said is, if I knock him out, I wouldn't sleep for a year. So Money Kicks has already got the mind going that he could potentially lock Mayweather out, which I love. Love that attitude, love the positivity.
I think Money Kicks invented confidence. I mean, that is next level of just confidence. Amazing.
Yeah, he is. When you meet him, we've been lucky enough to have him on the show, and you've read so many articles about this kid, Dubai's richest kid, but he's incredibly humble and he's also very calm.
Yes.
So I want to kind of see that anger in the ring. Do we think we'll see Money Kicks versus Mayweather? Because this whole YouTube boxing thing has kind of been like growing legs for the last year or two. We've seen Logan Paul fight Mayweather,
which was ended in a tie.
And these are exhibition bouts, so I don't think you're able to have knockouts.
With Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, reports trickle down saying that it was completely planned. The fact that it was a tie.
The media would never. I'd have no idea.
No, like the whole match was planned that it would result in a tie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so.
That's heartbreaking, but didn't the also report say that Money Mayweather made $50 million from that fight?
I'm sure they both made money. That's why they did it. But just the fact that, it wasn't genuine fight.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be rumors, and until I see the official confirmation, but that's interesting. But what people need to understand is that it's a showbiz fight. It's obviously not going to be two people at the top of their game, because you actually have someone who's at the top of social media game versus someone who's at the top of a boxing game. So you'll see a mix of both. So it'll get loads of social media coverage, a little bit of boxing.
Yeah.
Probably not 50% boxing, because that would be like, but.
It's like the Kardashian boxing thing that happened years ago.
I saw that recently.
The charity boxing event on Netflix.
Yeah. And who went into the ring? I can't even remember.
So Kim went in the ring. Chloe couldn't, even though she really wanted to fight. I think Courtney was pregnant. No, Chloe did get in, right? No, Chloe? Rob got in.
Kim had to get in.
Yes.
Right? And then the others were kind of like, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Chloe, I'm sure, got in.
Kim was such a smart. But yeah, Kim, she aced it. Chloe was made for the ring, but yeah.
We've talked about it before. I think in the office here.
No way, I know where you're going.
Well, I was actually going to do my predictions, which were going to be all in the favor of me.
I think you would win. I saw
no, we've talked about it. Sabrina's very scrappy. She'd take me down, I know it.
No, I wouldn't. You know, in the rack, you guys went for a rack team building, team bonding exercise, and you guys are wearing the fat suits or like those big balls around you.
Oh, yeah.
And did you and Rich knock each other out?
We didn't knock each other out, but we tried. Speaking of crafty email scammers, speaking of scammers, we're moving on to crafty email scams. Because they're coming more astute. And have you been at the mercy of email scammers? And if so, we'd love to know your story. This week, I myself got an email from Diwa. It read, "Dear customer, due to our system error, you were double charged for your bill and your last payment." There was a typo on system, but actually I didn't see that the first time I read it. "A refund process was initiated but could not be completed due to errors in your billing information. DIWA bill for the month of December 2021. Kindly claim your refund below and provide the required info related to the premise number." And then it read, "I was due 217 dirham and all I needed to do was click the green button to get it."
Oh, so you would have gotten a refund on the amount.
They were saying that there was an error in my DIWA bill.
Yeah.
So therefore, I could just click the amount to get my and it looked. Oh, guys, I'm gonna share it on Instagram today. And also, we have someone sharing a DHL scam. DHL. It really looked genuine. And I know I'm always told to check the email it came from. When I checked the email it came from, it was from like Renault.com, like really random.
Okay, so it wasn't Diva.
But the branding, it had a government stamp, it had a DIWA stamp, and the colouring was on point, but there were some typos. And I know that we have all been at the mercy of these emails before, but it's just a reminder to do not respond to them because you will get money taken from your account.
That's so funny because they're not asking for any details, they're just asking you to click.
And now I didn't click it. Even though for research purposes, I just thought it was too much to click.
No, definitely not. I mean, the risks are like, what if your whole laptop gets hacked?
Well, there were a few more telling signs.
Oh my God, it looks so genuine.
Oh, that's actually a genuine one.
Oh.
The other telling sign is that actually my DIWA bill now goes to my partner. So actually I haven't gotten a DIWA bill in so long that I was like, I could still be owed some money. Because you see money and you're, oh, great. But no, it's not the case. It was very genuine looking, and I know other people have been getting same from others, so watch out.
If it was legit, it would have been your day, you know, like a $217 refund on Diva. That's
donuts for all.
Oh, man, now I wish you got that 217.
Same.
But speaking of free stuff, money. Now the Al Maktoum toll gate will be free on Sundays. Now motorists won't be charged a single dime and SALIC fee on the Al Maktoum Bridge in Dubai on Sundays. Now this was confirmed by the Roads and Transport Authority, which is the RTA, and parking in Dubai also will remain free only on Fridays and public holidays, just as it did last year. Now with the weekend change, what we knew was Al Maktoum Bridge before last year, it used to be free on like the Al Maktoum Salik would be free on Fridays. So now that's changed to Sundays. And public parking is free on Fridays.
Yes. Okay, so this is the stuff that we need to take note of. These are the questions that once we get to the weekend, you're like, oh, can I park for free today? Or you probably maybe even have a habit that you go somewhere on a Friday and you always park in that same place, and is parking still free? So Parking is still free on Fridays.
Parking is still free on Fridays, yes. And last year, what happened was, so the floating bridge used to be closed, and that's where if you want to avoid the Al Maktoum Salik toll gate, you would take the floating bridge. So that's why that was free. So now the dates have changed. So now it's on Sunday. So now when you take the Al Maktoum bridge, that Salik will be free for you guys. Yeah. Hopefully, I really hope they make parking free on Saturdays. Like that's my biggest prayer out
for
of the
2022.
universe. Yeah,
that's all you want.
No, that's not all I want. That's one of my biggest.
Why free
prayers.
parking on Saturdays? Okay.
See, on Fridays we're mostly in the office, right? Like we already have our stuff stationed. We're gonna be in the office most of the time. If not, head home, change, whatever. And then when we head out, by the time we head out, it's 10 o'clock. And by that time, parking is already free. Now Saturdays is when you actually go out with the family and you wanna run your errands, get those stuff done. You don't want to worry about parking. And last year on Fridays it was free. This year Saturdays are the new Fridays. So.
It's tricky because I wonder if they've kept it Fridays because obviously for prayer, when people are obviously going out for prayer on Fridays, but maybe, you never know.
Mosques, parking around the mosques are anyway free.
What I love about the city is that things always change.
Yeah.
And that things are always improving. And there's even like in some places, happiness stations, you could even put in like, I'm sure you could like put in a request. Maybe. But that's the thing about Dubai is that, and that's one of the great things about being a resident here, is that
your voices are heard.
Your voices are heard, and there's never kind of a no, and there's never you put the question out into the ether, and then you wait. There's like a big public conversation about it for months and months and months. Things just happen so quickly.
So true.
Yeah, there's no faffing in Dubai. The city is not a faffing city.
It's not.
We may be faffers, but the city is not a faffing city, which I like.
I remember last year in the beginning of the year or mid-year, we were talking about just the weekend change. That's the rumor. Like nothing is impossible, and we had the same conversation. Imagine they make Friday, Saturday both free parking days now. Oh,
that's the dream, 2022 dream. Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Stay safe and wash your hands.